If you're going to start in development and you want to get an edge over everyone else, well, you want to look for the low-hanging fruit. My name's Ritchie Clapson. I'm a chartered structural engineer and I've been involved in the property industry now over 40 years. And in today's video, I'm going to tell you exactly, for a first-time developer, where is the low-hanging fruit. So let's assume you're out there, you're listening to this tip, you're thinking about starting in property development. You like the idea of going out, changing your life, having more time with your friends and your family, and into the boot making a six-figure profit. I mean, who wouldn't like that? But of course, a lot of people, well, they get a bit starry-eyed. They think, yeah, I love to get in development, but they don't really assess what is the simplest route. Because I can tell you right now, if you're looking to go out and make a six-figure sum, it is not without risk. There is risk. Of course there's going to be risk. Now the point is you've got to minimize that risk. And where is the best place to start minimizing risk? It's choosing the right type of development for you to start with. Now, tell me if I'm right. Have you been thinking about development? You like the idea of doing a couple of new build houses. Am I right? Have you thought about it? You have, haven't you? Well, get that thought right out your mind. That's the worst place you could start. Of course, you're probably not alone. Most people will be thinking exactly that. The majority of people that come to me and say, hey, Ritchie, can you help me? Can you steer me? Can you guide me? Can you mentor me to start my development journey? I often turn about and say, okay, where would you like to start? Well, really, I'd like to get a little bit of land. I'd like to build myself 2 or 3 brand new houses. That sort of thing looks relatively straightforward. Well, it is relatively straightforward, but it is not the easiest of solution. And one of the big problems with it is the planning system within this country. The planning system is broken. It's a mess. Now, first of all, the chances of finding a bit of land are, well, I mean, apart from zero, they're not that high. You know, when was the last time you saw a bit of land that was available? A bit of land that was available at a good price. It doesn't exist. That's why I say it's zero. There's not a lot of small pockets of land available these days. And if they are, of course, everyone wants a premium for them because they know you could probably build on them. So apart from the fact you're going to have an unmotivated seller, you know, this seller knows they're going to better sell a bit of land. If they've got something that you can build on, they know they're going to get a good price. They know there's going to be a lot of people after it because that's just almost the default position. But of course, not only you're not going to get it for a good price, when you're going for planning, you might have all sorts of hurdles that you've got to jump through. So you might buy that bit of land, but it could be a year, could be 2 years later that you still don't have your planning permission. I mean, that's not a great business model, is it? 2 years down the road, you haven't made any money at all. So what's the low-hanging fruit? Where is the place you should start? Because, you know, I don't want to put you off. If you want to do new build, then go and do it. But not for your first project. Do it for your second, maybe your third. Because is the world going to be a different place if you've got 200,000-300,000 pounds in your pocket? It is, isn't it? It's going to be a much different place. So what I want you to do is work on the low-hanging fruit. The low-hanging fruit is always the stuff we've got to go for first. And what is that for a first-time developer? So if you are that first-time developer, write this down. It is permitted development rights. Now, you might have heard of us talk a lot about permitted development rights on this channel. But they are the most important place for you to start because it minimizes the risk. Permitted development rights. You have a right to do certain development. You have a right to convert a whole raft of existing commercial buildings into residential without the need for going in the full planning system. And this can be done in 56 days because you put your application in and in 56 days, if they being the planning authority, don't come back to you, guess what? You can just start. You can just start your project. Now, there is a process for probably getting a lawful development certificate in place that we would strongly advise, but you can start. Imagine that. Compared to doing a new build, you could be 1, 2 years down the road, still waiting for your permission. Permitted development rights, you started. Within 2 months, you could be starting your project. You could be started, finished, sold your project. Money in the bank before a comparable developer has even started their new build development. It is the low-hanging fruit. And into the boot, well, there are so many empty commercial buildings out there. I'm talking about shops, I'm talking about banks, I'm talking about restaurants, cafes, light industrial. I mean, have you seen empty commercial buildings in and around where you live? You have, haven't you? And when there's an abundance of stock, what are those sellers? Highly motivated. So you've got highly motivated sellers, you've got a short circuit, a right through the planning system with permitted development rights to convert your commercial building into residential. Motivated sellers, what's not to like? That is the low-hanging fruit. That's where you want to start. Hopefully that makes sense. As always, please like and subscribe, and then you'll never miss another video.